So today, we're going to dig into the architecture of the premium home spa. And I really want you to focus on that word architecture. We're moving past just how these spaces look to understand how they're actually engineered from the ground up to support consistent daily wellness.
You know, when most of us hear home spa, this is probably the image that pops into our heads. And sure, it's relaxing, but this kind of setup treats wellness more like a special occasion, something you do once in a while, not what it really needs to be, which is an integrated part of your daily life. And this is where we really need to shift our thinking. A true premium home spa isn't just a collection of nice things, it's an engineered environment. Think of it as a piece of wellness infrastructure, built specifically to support a daily routine. The whole focus shifts from simple decoration to deliberate function. To really get how this works, we have to start at the foundational layer, with all the parts you don't necessarily see. Let's talk about the invisible flow that makes these spaces so effective. So what's the real difference between a basic setup and a premium one? Well, it's not about the expensive finishes you can see. It's all about the thoughtful, functional design that you can feel. This comparison really lays it out. You see, in a basic setup, wellness is kind of an afterthought. Maybe a massage chair in the corner, and then you relax on the living room couch. In a premium space, though, you have dedicated, climate-controlled zones. The main shift here is moving from an incidental flow to an intentional one that's designed to create a totally seamless journey through your routine. And that's this idea of strategic zoning in action. Each area has a very distinct purpose. You've got your treatment and relaxation spaces, of course, but look at that last one, a dedicated mechanical zone. Keeping the engine of the spa, all the machinery, separate from the experience itself is critical. And the quality of that experience is really defined by how effortlessly you can move between these different zones. Now this is what separates a professional build from a really common and costly mistake. Without precise humidity control, proper ventilation, and the right dedicated electrical circuits, even the best equipment is going to underperform, and expensive materials will start to degrade. This invisible infrastructure, you just can't skip it. All right, so with that invisible flow established, we can start to build the next layer up, what we call the sensory shell. These are the materials you actually see, touch, and feel. Let's take marble, for example, a classic choice. Its cool, smooth surface doesn't just feel luxurious. Its density makes it incredibly durable and resistant to moisture, which is obviously a must-have in a spa environment. Now compare that to travertine. It offers a completely different sensory experience. It has this earthy feel to it, it's often warmer underfoot, and its naturally porous texture gives you great slip resistance. And then for warmth and a really grounding feeling, you have woods like teak or cedar. Their natural oils not only make them incredibly water-resistant, but they can also add this subtle, calming aroma to the space, engaging yet another sense. So you see, the material selection becomes a whole system in itself. It's not just about picking a nice stone or a pretty wood. It's about integrating radiant heat for thermal comfort, using cedar to naturally manage moisture, choosing low VOC finishes to protect your air quality, even selecting organic linens. Every single material choice contributes to that primary goal, supporting your well-being. So we have our invisible flow, and we have our sensory shell. Now we add the active layer, the technology that actually engineers the user experience in real time. Now, this isn't just a list of features. It's about how they all work together. Circadian lighting, for example, it adjusts its color to support your natural sleep-wake cycle. It uses cooler tones to suppress melatonin in the morning and warmer tones to let it rise at night. Aromatherapy isn't just a pleasant smell, it's using specific oils to measurably influence stress hormones like cortisol. Every element, from the sound and textiles to the temperature, is coordinated to create a deeply restorative state. Here's what that looks like in practice. A morning session might use that bright, cool-toned lighting and maybe some citrus scents to promote alertness. But for an evening session, the whole system shifts. It switches to warm, amber light and calming lavender to signal to the body that it's time to wind down for sleep. The technology is always being used with a very clear biological intention. And that same intentionality applies to the therapies themselves. The benefits of, say, heat, followed by cold exposure, and then compression, they aren't just additive, they're synergistic. Each step primes the body for the next one, creating a combined effect that's far greater than any single treatment could be on its own. So this brings us to the final and I think most important piece. We've covered the flow, the materials, and the technology. But the real goal of combining all these layers is to create a system that enables one single thing: consistency. This really is the core idea. True luxury here isn't about the price tag. It's about creating a space that's so perfectly functional that it removes any and all friction that might stop you from sticking to your wellness routine. So, what does that friction actually look like? Well, it's that shock of a cold floor when you're warm. It's visual clutter that just adds mental stress. It's a disjointed process that makes your routine feel like a chore. These are all those small annoyances that can completely derail consistency. And this is the ultimate payoff. When a space is designed as a single integrated system, it removes all of that friction. An effortless process drives consistency. And that consistency is what delivers the real, long-term results for your health and well-being.
So this leaves us with a final question to think about. Just look at your own environment. Is it actively supporting your wellness goals by removing friction? Or is it, in small ways, maybe getting in the way? Because engineering an effortless space isn't really a luxury. It's the very foundation of consistency.